Hybrid work isn't just a trend, like it's really reshaping how companies build a culture, how they retain talent, and how they stay competitive in the market.
That's Ashley Goldberg, president and partner at Search Solution Group. She has been instrumental in the firm's growth over her 12-year tenure. Starting as director of national sales, she quickly advanced to become the Search Solution Group's younger partner. She now leads a sales team of over 30 professionals. Her leadership has helped establish her company as the top executive search firm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ashley is also a supermom of 5. You are listening to Dear Human Resources, and I'm your host, Marilyn Germain. In this episode, Ashley is going to talk about the future of work, specifically navigating hybrid work models. Welcome to the show, Ashley.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So why don't we just start by defining what hybrid work actually is?
Hybrid work is essentially a flexible work schedule that allows employees to split their time between working remotely and working in a physical office space. So every company and client that we've worked with approaches it slightly differently, but the main goal for everyone is to really balance in-person collaboration with the flexibility of remote work.
We know that hybrid work is not just used in the United States, but around the world. But I want to focus on the US, evidently, because we are in the US. What is the percentage of employees who are in person, hybrid, and fully remote?
So right now, the workforce is pretty evenly split between these 3 models. According to Gallup, roughly about 19-20% of employees are back to working in person full time, although this percentage has increased month over month. 55% are in some type of hybrid capacity, and 26% are fully remote. Gallup is a global analytics and management consulting firm, and these numbers continue to shift, as I mentioned. These numbers shift as companies continue to refine their policies. What's interesting, Marie, is how these numbers vary really across industries and across business area or business vertical, as we call it, that you're specialized in. So technology and finance, for example, have embraced hybrid work much more than industries like healthcare or plant manufacturing, where in-person work naturally is a necessity.
What are some key trends you're seeing and how companies are balancing in-office and remote work? And how has this impacted their ability to attract and retain top talent?
One of the biggest trends we're seeing is more of a structured hybrid policy, meaning companies are being more intentional about when and why employees come into the office. So it's no longer just, come in 3 days a week. It's about coming in for collaboration, specific strategy meetings, or team building while keeping deep focus work remote or at home. This, to me, has impacted their ability to attract and retain top talent in an extremely positive way. Humans are driven by, whether you think you are or not, we like structure, we like stability. Even if we thrive in an unstructured environment, when you know what's coming or what to be prepared for, everyone is more successful for the most part. So that has, in collaboration with several other items, of course, total rewards, benefits, but that hybrid work model and having some type of structure to it has increased a company's ability to attract top talent.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I have several friends who work remotely and they wouldn't even consider going back to a job in an office. Recruiting in a hybrid environment comes with specific, I would say even unique challenges. Can you talk about some of those challenges?
In terms of recruiting for a hybrid environment?
Yes.
Thriving in a hybrid environment takes more than just, logging into a Zoom meeting like you and I are on right now. You have to have strong communication across multiple platforms. So you're not always going to be face to face with these people. You need to be able to communicate efficiently over Teams calls, Slack, email, text message, whatever the case might be. To that point, that's not the only thing driving this success. You have to be self-motivated and you have to have a crucial time management skill, which not everyone is wired with. I mean, you're not having the daily in-office collaboration, the daily in-office oversight. You have to be intrinsically motivated to get up, go somewhere else around your house, most likely, and do the work that you're so used to doing at a different office space. Adaptability and tech proficiency are crucial in helping employees switch seamlessly between remote and in-office work. And also EI, or emotional intelligence, plays a key role in relationship building, even at a distance.
Now, have you seen organizations, speaking of adaptability, have you seen organizations adapt their recruiting strategies to succeed in this new hybrid landscape?
They certainly have adapted to ensure that they still want to find, and their goal is to attract top talent. Some are willing to go from 3 days in the office to two, if that's what it means to really get the person or the people that they want. But a lot of times, Marie, companies are sticking steadfast to, hey, this is our policy now, and the people that we are going to want on our team are going to be okay with this policy. And if they're not, then they're probably not the right fit for our company. Companies are okay with that. And I mean, culture is such a huge part in this, that if they have this specific culture that they want to keep, then they're willing to take a little bit longer to find the right person. Maybe not get this exact specific profile of a candidate that they want because this person is only working fully remote and they won't even consider 1 day a week in the office. Okay, well, then we need to pivot our search strategy to find the people that will consider, because they will be the best for our long-term growth.
So you make it sound like it's employers market, not a job candidates market.
I think it can be for the right sell, the right people. Absolutely. I mean, we're a headhunting firm, so we're going out, we're seeking folks who are currently employed, and we're selling them on a new opportunity with this company. And if they're not a right fit for them, whether it's hard skills or soft skills, then that's another story. I mean, but we have to work for both our clients and our candidates and make a good match going both directions.
So do you see an increase in candidates demanding remote work or at least hybrid?
Hybrid, yes, it's preferred. I would say where we see the most pushback, as I'm sure you can imagine, from candidates is when there's a full 5 day a week in office policy. But it's not that uncommon anymore. I mean, you saw the percentages earlier, but about a quarter of companies are doing it.
Yeah, large companies are calling their employees back into the office.
Yeah.
So what skills or traits do you think are becoming really even increasingly important for candidates to succeed in hybrid work settings? And how can companies ensure they are identifying these qualities during the recruitment process?
Number one for me and for most of my clients is the ability to effectively communicate, both to folks on your team and then also upwards to executives, to the C-suite, to the board. If you are an effective communicator and can figure out the best way to communicate with different types of receptors, then that's something that is going to help you launch and be successful in this remote or hybrid workforce. To screen for that, I mean, my team is doing multiple passes, multiple vetting sessions, multiple interviews with candidates on different platforms prior to even presenting them to our clients. So we're doing phone calls, we're doing video interviews, we're doing texts, we're making sure they can send an email without any grammatical errors. So there's a lot that goes into that vetting process of candidates instead of just sending them over. Hey, here's a candidate, take a look. No, we're fully vetting them and qualifying them for this role, specifically in a hybrid environment, prior to you even laying eyes on their resume.
So with the shift towards hybrid work models, which is just talked about, what are some of the long-term impacts you foresee on company culture, which is something you mentioned earlier?
It's making company culture more intentional. And what I mean by that is in-office culture in the past has happened organically, right? So you have people that come together and they form a culture. But now companies have to design specific engagement moments like structured collaboration days or virtual team building, or I know this week's employee appreciation week. So what are we going to do on Friday? Oh, well, no one works in the office on Friday, so we can't do anything on Friday. So what should we do on Thursday? So it's very much more designed moments. It's also shifting focus to trust and transparency, Marie. Micromanagement does not physically or literally work in hybrid settings. So companies that prioritize clear communication and results-driven performance versus prioritizing micromanagement will thrive. And then finally, just last key point, inclusivity is key. So businesses need to ensure remote employees feel equally engaged and valued, which is not an easy thing to do. But hybrid work isn't just a trend, like it's really reshaping how companies build a culture, how they retain talent, and how they stay competitive in the market.
How do organizations measure productivity? How do you see that done in hybrid environments? In other words, do they monitor access to internet? Do they videotape employees behind their laptops? I mean, how do they measure productivity? It's just result based, or is there a present, you need to be present behind a computer?
Yeah, that's going to depend on the company and on the role of the employee. I've heard all three of those things that you mentioned having been done in the past. So seeing what time employees log in, log out, making sure they're active on Teams, video calling them, doing team strategy sessions virtually. The majority of companies that we work with, though, go from that output segment. So they see, okay, is the work being done? Yeah. And if the answer is yes, and the employee is being productive, then great. Like some clients don't care how they get it done, when they get it done, where they get it done. If it's getting done and this person is productive and they're doing their job and excelling at it, then that's a lot of the whole reason for remote work is. Like they're in a comfortable space, they're being productive, and they're doing their job.
And I see that as well. I mean, I've had many guests on this podcast show talk about monitoring and the building of trust. And if you don't have that trust between employees and their employer, it's not going to work. And so you have to trust employees that they are going to perform without, micromanaging their time.
For the right match, it absolutely works wonderfully.
Thanks for your insights. And it was fantastic having you on the show.
Thank you so much for the invite, Marie. I appreciate it. And I'll look forward to staying in touch.
Support for this show comes from Western Carolina University, a campus of the University of North Carolina system, with the technical assistance of Kelly Minnis.